Are you looking to take your Microsoft Excel skills to the next level and stand out in the competitive job market? If yes, then this video is for you. Getting started with Microsoft Excel, we are going to create a blank workbook. So I'm going to click on it right now. So once I click on it, it's going to bring us to this interface. This is how it's going to look like. Now, so Excel deals with basic calculations, involves rows and columns. So these are the rows in Excel. Row one, row two, row three, row four, row five, and so on and so forth. While these are the columns: column one, column two, column three, or you can say column A, column B, column C. The column address of this particular column. So I'm going to come to this section here. It is now telling me that we are in C1, which means we are in column C, column C, row one, row one. Then if I move to this place, then it's going to write it, which is column C, row two. So it basically deals with rows and columns. Now, so at the top area here, we have all these items called tab. They are referred to as tab. So we have home tab, insert tab, page layout tab, formulas tab, data tab, review, and others. So now under the tab, we have something called ribbons. All these places are called the ribbons. They are ribbons. So then this place is known as name box. So this is where you will be able to see the particular cell name that you are into. Any cell you are in or that you click on, this is where you can know the cell address. So that is why it is called the name box. Now this is the formula bar. So anytime you type any formula or you write any formula in Microsoft Excel, this is where you are going to see. This is known as cell. This is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell. But combination of two or more cells is referred to as range. For instance now, if I have more than one cell, then these are called range. Range of values. Assume I have any values input here, they will be referred to as range of values. Now moving on, as you can see, we have sheet one here. So you can also add more sheets by clicking on this plus icon here. You can add more sheets. Then as you can see, it is adding more sheets: sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, sheet four, sheet five, and so on and so forth. And you can also decide to rename your sheet. Now if I should right click, just right click on it, then you'll be able to see this pop up. You can easily delete it if you like. You can insert another sheet before it. You can delete it. You can also rename your sheet. Then I'm going to rename it. Basically, can you see I've renamed my sheet. So that's how to rename sheet in Excel. Now moving on, so for instance now, if you want to enter any value, maybe I enter something like 2. Now the problem here is, how can you move to the next column? So to move to the next column, you are going to press the tab button on your keyboard. So each time you want to move to the next column, just press tab. So tab will move to the next column. Tab will make you to move to the next column. Now for instance, if you want to move to the next line, you are going to press enter. Now working with number, for instance now, let me write something like Excel. Now this tool is called the selection tool. This cross icon, this is called the selection tool. If you want to change it, maybe you want to move this Excel to this area, there is how you can do it. You can easily move down your cursor until it change. As you can see, it has changed. So once it change to this one, to this move icon, previously it was selection icon, but now it has changed to move icon. Now once you see this move icon, it means you can now move it to any other area you want. As you can see, I can move it down to this place and so on and so forth. Now there is something called fill tool as well, or fill handle. So you can see, just bring your mouse to this right hand side at the bottom section, then drag it down. You'll be able to fill it downward. Then it's going to repeat all this. As you can see, it has repeat all this for us. So that's how you can use the fill method. For instance now, if I want to fill this same values here, all I need to do is to come to this right hand side at the bottom section, then your cursor will change to fill handle, then drag it downward as you can see. So it has filled it down. For instance now, if I write something like 1, then if I write 2 again, now if I want to fill it down so that if you complete it, maybe I want to make it up to 10 to save our time, this is the shortcut you can use. So once you drag it like this, then come to this fill section and drag it downwards. Once you drag it downward, can you see? This is the fastest way to work in Excel. For instance, if I want to write date like 1st October 2020, let me just write something like this. So once I write it like this, then as you can see, this has moved. It seems it is now in the second column, that is, it is now going to the next column. So how can you adjust it? If you want to adjust it to make everything align perfectly in the right column, all you need to do is to double click here. As you can see, it has moved to the right hand side. Or assuming you don't want to do it that way, there is another method you can use. Let's assume this is how it is. Then to move it, all you need to do is just to hold it and drag it to the right hand side, then it's going to adjust. So for instance, if I want to fill this date downward, instead of writing it one after the other, I can easily come to this side, and as you can see, it has changed to this fill handle. Then you can drag it downward until you meet the criteria of the dates that you need. As you can see, from 1st October to 2nd October, 3rd October, up to 15th October. So that is how you can use the fill handle to fill your items down. Now also, I can use this to write the days of the week. Like for instance, I want to write Monday. This is Monday. Now if I want it to fill all other days for me, all I need to do is to drag it down up to, can you see, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this is the quickest way to work in Microsoft Excel. Moving on, formatting and styling workbook in Excel. We have this set of data that we want to work with. As you can see, it is not looking good right now. So how can we make it look more appealing? For instance now, you can see this heading here. This is the heading. So to make it center, let's highlight everything. Just click and drag it to the area where you want it to be. For instance now, I want it to stop here. So once I click on it, I will come to this area. Can you see? This is center. You can, that is, you can align it left, align it center, or align it right. So I'm going to click on this align center. Then once I click on it, everything will be centered. Can you see? Everything has now been aligned centered. So I want to make this heading to be at the center of all others. So all I'm going to do, once I've selected it, I'm going to come to this section. Can you see? Merge and center. So I will click on it. It will now center it. Can you see? It has been centered. So then I want to make it bold. Then also I want to increase the font size. To do that, firstly, let me give everything the same font size. Then so that I can be able to work with this one separately, let me increase the font size of everything. Now I want to increase it to 14. Can you see? I've increased it to 14. After that, I want to bold this section. Then if you want to bold it, all you need to do is to highlight it. Once you highlight on it, then you are going to come to this section. Then click on this B, which means bold. Then you click on it. It's now going to bold everything. I also want to change the text color. So I'm going to click on it. Then I will change the text color to this color. Can you see? The color is now coming out. So now I have all other items here. I will also align this section and make it bold. I will align it and highlight to make it bold. Just come to this section as well. Can you see? it is now bold. If you enjoyed this video, please show some kindness by subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be updated. So I want to increase the font size of this one to make it 16 so that I can stand out from others. So I'm going to come to this section and click on it, or you can also change it here. So let me change it here so that you can see. You know this is 14, let me change it to 16. You can type it, the font size, type it and press enter, then it's going to increase the font size. Can you see? But now as you can see, there are some items that is not showing currently. How can we work with that? So to make all these items visible, all you need to do is to double click on it. As you can see, this is quantity, but we are not having the full text here. So come to this section and double click on it, then it's going to align properly, as you can see. Then this one also, we have total sales here, but this total sales is not showing. Now let's double click on it and everything will show perfectly. Can you see? So that is how you can format your workbook and your data in Excel. Also, you can see all these items here. All these items, they are not showing fully. So how can you make them to show in full? To make them show in full, also you have to repeat the same step again. All you need to do is to double click this section. As you can see, everything is now showing. So that is how you can format your document in Excel. So as you can see, this total sales also is not showing. There's another way you can also do it. For instance, now you can see this total sales is not showing. Everything is not showing. So to do that, you can easily come to this section and drag it to the right hand side. Once you drag it, as you can see, the total sales is now showing. So I want to drag it more so that I can have it aligned properly. As you can see, the total sales is now showing. So I want to bold this one as well. Just click on it, highlight it, then come to this section and click on bold. Then it will now bold it and everything will be center and line up perfectly. Also, you can change the background color. For instance, now if I want to change the background color of this section, I'm going to highlight it, then come to this section and click on fill color. Then you can change it to any color of your choice. For instance, I'm going to change it to this color. As you can see, the color has changed. So you can do it for all others if you like. It all depends on the way you want to style your data. Also, you can add border to everything. All you need to do is to highlight everything. Just drag it down like this. Can you see the way I'm doing it? Drag it down, then come to this section. You are going to see border, then click on this one. Then you can add anyone you like, maybe bottom border, top border, left border, and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to add all borders. As you can see, that's add border to the data. You can also print your workbook. To print it, all you need to do is to come to this section, which is written file, then click on it, then you are going to see print. So once you click on print, you are going to be able to see the print preview of how your data is going to look like when you wanted to print it. So as you can see, this is how it's going to look like once you print it. So you can make some adjustments to it. It all depends on you and the way you want it to look like. Basic formulas and functions in Excel. So we have all these data sets that we wanted to work with. So now these are the score for each student, the first test, second test, and the exam. Then we need to calculate the total as well as the average. So now how can we calculate the total? Which means we are going to add up the first test, the second test, and the exam all together. That will be the total here. In order to calculate the total, we are going to use the sum. So now to sum the total value for both the test and the exam, we are going to write equals sum, then we are going to open brackets, open bracket, then select the range of values that you wanted to sum. Now that is from B4 to D4. You know, this is B4 to D4. Then press enter to submit. As you can see, the first student score 80% out of 100. So I'm going to do the same thing for all other students as well. But instead of doing it one after the other, like I show you previously, there's a quick way we can do it by using the fill handle. So come to this right hand side at the bottom, you can see your cursor will change to this fill handle. All you need to do is to drag it down and it's going to sum up everything for you. As you can see, these are the total score for each of the students, both in the test and in the exam. Then how can we calculate the average? To calculate the average, you can use something like equals, then you are going to write average, open brackets, then select the range of values you wanted to add the average for. So this is it. Then which means from B4 to D4 again, press enter on your keyboard. So this is the average score for this particular student. This is the average score. To get the average score for all other students, we are going to drag it down using the fill handle, then we get the average. We also want to calculate the sum of the values for each of the test, first test, second test and the exam. So all we need to do is to use this auto sum here. So this is another way to do it. Instead of using the way I showed you previously, we are going to use auto sum. So how can we do it? All you need to do is to highlight everything that you wanted to sum. Just highlight it. Now this is it. Then come to this section and click on auto sum, then click on sum. As you can see, so we have the sum here. So to get the value for all other ones, all you need to do is just to click and drag it, so you get the values. Then we also want to look for the maximum score for each of the students here. We wanted to know the student that scored the highest here. To get this, we are going to use the max function. So this is how it works. We are going to write equals, then max, open brackets, then you are going to select it from this student. You can drag it up. So can you see? So that is the maximum of the score. So from B4 to B13, press enter. So it is telling us that the maximum score here for test 1 is 13. Now let's see actually if it is true. As you can see now, the highest score here from the first student to the last student, which is the 10th student, is 13. As you can see, 13 is the highest score. So likewise, we are going to fill it to all this section, to all this area. The highest score is here. This 13 also is the highest score here, while here 66 is the highest score for the exam. Student 8 score the highest score, which is 66. So that's how to use max function in Excel. Moving on, now we also want to know the student that scored the minimum mark in each of the tests and exam. That is the student that scored the lowest mark. We are going to use the main function to get that. So to do that, all you need to do is to press equals, then you write main. You are going to open brackets, then you can select it from down to the up or from up to the down. So it all depends on you. I'm going to start it like this from here, then up to this point. So as you can see, it has selected that is from B4 to B13. Then click on this enter, press it, and it's going to tell us that the minimum score is what? Is 8. Now as you can see, 8 is the minimum value here from this first student, this last student here. So now let's also fill it to know the minimum score for all other students. So here the minimum score here for this second test is 7, which means student 7 scored the minimum, which is 7 mark. Then here we have 40. The student that scored the least mark is this student 2, which is 40 marks. So that's how you can use the mean, the marks and the count function in Excel, and also to sum values. Let's align this one center as well. We can bold it, or we can increase the font size. Let's increase the font size just like the other ones. Then we also want to make it to be at the center. Since it has been highlighted already, then you come to this section. Can you see? Then you click on it, you're going to center everything. Now it is now at the center and it is perfectly aligned with all others. Sorting and filtering data in Excel. There is difference between sort and filter. So to sort the data values here, that is, we can sort it from ascending order to descending order, or from descending order to the ascending order. It all depends. So for instance now, the students, we are going to, let's sum it. You know, it is now in ascending order. We are going to change it in reverse. Then it will now be in descending order. So to do that, all you need to do is to select the whole students. Now let's select everything up to this point. To do that, then we are going to come to this section where we see this funnel icon. As you can see, you see it's written sort and filter. To do that, you are going to see it sort smallest to largest, sort largest to smallest. Then we are going to sort it by what? By largest to smallest. Once I click on it, then it's going to reverse it. This 10 will now be at the top, then 1 will be at the bottom. Let's see how it works. As you can see, this is how to sort range of values in Excel. You can sort it either in ascending order or descending order. Now let's see how to filter data set or items in Excel. To do that, filter helps us to focus on what matters most. That is, maybe we have so many items to work with and we only want to focus on the ones that matter most to us in order to get the final result. We can use filter to do that. For instance now, if I want to exclude some students here, maybe I want to exclude student 10, student 6 and student 1. There is how to do it using filter. Now filter will not delete any values or any data set, but it's going to hide it for the meantime until you need it again. Once you need it again, you can go back and restore it. So let's see how filter works. So once we have it selected, we are going to go back to filter. That is, then select filter. Once you click on filter, so you'll be able to see all this drop down icon here. Can you see this drop down icon? So then click on it. Once you click on it, you'll be able to exclude some students. Maybe I want to exclude student 10, I want to exclude student 7, student 5 and student 1. So I'm going to exclude them. Then once I click on OK, it's going to exclude all other students. Can you see? So we are now left with students 9, students 8, 6, 4, 3 and 2. All other students has been hidden. For instance now, if I want to restore it back to normal, I will go back to filter, sort and filter. Then I will still click on filter. Then as you can see, it has been restored back to the way it was previously. So that's how to work with sort and filter in Excel. Conditional formatting. We have this data set for the monthly casual staff employment records by each department. So we are going to use conditional formatting to determine the months with lowest employment record. So now we are going to highlight everything, for instance like this. So to do that, come to this section, you are going to see conditional formatting. Once you click on it, then I'm going to use color scales. To use it, then I will click on this second one. You can feel free to use any of this one, but I want to use this second one. So as you can see, the color is going to change. So it is now going to give us the color grade. So all this color in deep blue means the month with the highest employment rate. Then The ones with the light red means the month with the medium employment rate. Den the ones with red colour means the month with the lowest employment rate. Dat is how you can use conditional formatting to determine the highest value or the lowest value, or to know the number that is standing out from others. Mere seeing dis colour you can determine, even before anybody tell you dis, you can easily pick from afar the highest and the lowest based on the colour. Creating basic chart in Excel. Based on dis student data set, we wanted to create a pie chart. You can create bar chart, pie chart, line chart and all other chart, but basically we are going to be working with pie chart in dis video. So all I need to do is to select all dis range of values. Once I select it, den I will press control in order to select the second one, which is the exam score. So once I select all the values that I need, den I'm going to come to dis tab area which is called insert, den click on insert. Den you are going to see all dis area where you can insert column or bar chart. You can also insert line or area chart. Here is where you can insert pie chart. So I'm going to click on it. Den you have 2D, 3D or donut, but I'm going to click on 3D pie. So dis is the one I wanted to use. As you can see, it has inserted the pie chart for us. And so if you like, you can change the chart title here. So you can come to dis section to do some customization. If you like, you can remove the chart title which is there. You can also remove the legend. Dis is the legend. You can remove it, it depends on you. You can also add data labels. Now you can come to dis section and also play with dis section. If you want to change the colour, so maybe you have your own brand colour that you wanted to use, all you need to do is to change it to your brand colour. As you can see, once I hover on any of the colour will change. That is how it works basically. Before you go, watch dis video next.